Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Bad Squirrel Forge. Today, we're going to take a little bit of time here on those of you that have been following me in my projects. We're going to take a little bit of time and talk about the final finish on my survival knives, the Rambo style survival knives. Let's see. Here's one that we're working on now to get so you get a flashback of what we're talking about. And what we're going to talk about is the final finish. It has a partially sandblasted final finish. And I found this stuff at the local auto body paint and supply. It's a rubber tape. And it's called sandblasting tape. I never knew there was such a thing. But it's fantastic if you do any sandblasting finish and there's part of your blade that you don't want sandblasted. This works really great. Now, for my final finish on these knives, I hand sand to about 1,000 grit, and then I don't know if you can see it or not, but about 3/8 of an inch up on the edges, I polish. The rest of the knife, I leave at 1,000. Okay. Then what we do is I take this tape, and I bought this thing here. It's a fabric cutter at Walmart. It works fantastic for cutting this tape. And you get a little cutting board that you can use. And I use a straight edge. And I cut it into 1/2-inch strips, which look like these. Okay? Now I take my knife at that point and I do a little trick that was shown to me by another maker. Is I draw a line up as high as I want my gloss finish to go, which normally is between 1/4 and 3/8. Okay? For me, I like to start these at the end of the choil, where your choil comes in. I set it right here. I use my finger as a guide. Put this there. And you get a line. And believe it or not, it comes out really accurate. And you can do the same thing on the back side. Just let your finger follow the edge of the blade and you get a nice line to work with. Okay, once I get my line done, I got my tape strips cut. Now, on these, with the saw teeth, I found that if I put a piece of masking tape across the back of the saw teeth, because the saw teeth will catch your finger and your line will go like this. Jiggity, 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 jiggity. But if you put a piece of tape across it, you can simply do the same line and the tape keeps your finger straight. It doesn't fall into these little grooves and get caught on the notches. The little tape trick here, that's a good way to go. Okay. Then I take my little strips and I take my blade up. And I follow my guidelines. This tape works really good. It's made out of rubber, so it gets into little creases and crevices. You can use your thumbnail or a little plastic thingy if you have short thumbnails. And really get it. Make sure you get your creases wherever your tape meets. Make sure you get those pressed in really well. Then I take it to the sandblaster and I sandblast at 380 grit, which is a really fine grit, but all I want to do is change the tone of the knife. I want to go from a high polish to a non-glare. And that's one of the tricks on the survival. This one just came out of the sandblaster. And what we're going to do is we're going to tear the tape off here so you can see the difference on how it looks, if it came out right. If not, we get to start hand sanding all over again. And yeah, as you can tell, this is like pulling off a rubber band. And now you get your final finish. This is why I haven't posted a lot in the last few days. I had to get my wife out of the house for a day, doctor's appointment, you know, crap that comes along with age. But this gives a really neat finish. Now, for a little bit of you Rambo fans that watched the movie, this was added. This finish was added. Not to have anything to do with the knife as far as its functionality, but that it looked bad on camera. It made it look more aggressive on camera, so they came up with this idea. Another misleading thing about these knives that I would like to explain is the saw teeth on the back. This is not a saw. You're not going to go out and cut a tree limb off. Well, I reckon you could, but you'd be there for a while. Designed as a survival knife with a hollow handle, the saw teeth were added so that when you set traps and snares, you can use these saw teeth and you can saw a square notch in a tree limb, so that when you tie your square up, if you catch a rabbit or a squirrel or whatever you're going to eat for dinner that night, muskrat, whatever you like to dine on, whatever your cuisine prefers, it keeps the string from sliding, it keeps your snare from sliding off the tree limb. Also, when you make your figure 4 traps, this gives you a square notch. So basically it's only meant to cut a notch a 1/4 inch deep. And they look really cool. But that's it on our knife finish. If you have any questions, hit us up here at Bad Squirrel Forge, or hit me up on Facebook. I'm Andy Sharp. Welcome to the Bad Squirrel. Thank you for watching, and remember, be kind to one another. Have a nice day.